Blame it all on addiction. That was First Lady Jill Biden slamming the GOP's treatment of Hunter Biden, responding to a question how she's coping. Republicans are not slowing down in their investigation. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan now demanding FBI Director Chris Wray turn over a 2017 FBI memo, that's a 1023 form, concerning a confidential human source report about foreign payments made to the Biden family. The committee says this record was once again referenced in a second FBI 1023 form from the year 2020. That form detailed bribery allegations involving Joe and Hunter Biden. Hunter, meanwhile, pled not guilty yesterday to 9 federal tax charges in a Los Angeles courtroom. Joining me right now is South Carolina Congressman Russell Fry, a member of the House Judiciary and Oversight Committees. He was in the room when Hunter crashed the contempt of Congress hearing. Congressman, that was really interesting. You're there doing your hearing on contempt of Congress charges against Hunter Biden. When did you first recognize that actually Hunter Biden was sitting in the audience?
Well, I think, when we knew something was going on when Secret Service started to parole or go through the room and just make sure everything was okay. And you're going, well, who's coming? And then the rumor was, well, Hunter might be showing up. And so, wow, that's news to us because we're not here to do a deposition of him. Why would he even be here? And of course, then he crashed the hearing with his art purchaser who's doing a documentary on him, and he stayed for a few minutes and left.
Yeah, the art purchaser, I mean, that you mentioned, this is Kevin Morris. And I know that your committee, James Comer told me he asked Kevin Morris to come in to speak to him. And Kevin Morris said, no, I can't come because I'm on vacation from Thanksgiving to New Year's, and I'm out of the country. Meanwhile, there he was when Hunter pulled the other stunt on the Senate side, standing right behind Hunter Biden. This is a guy who's paid millions of dollars toward Hunter Biden's taxes and lent him money, and he only met him like 2 weeks earlier. So what's the story with Kevin Morris? Why does he keep paying Hunter's bills?
Well, and that's what we want to get to the bottom of. We had the art dealer come in just this week, I believe, who testified that there was a weird arrangement between Mr. Morris and Hunter Biden. And this is the guy that purchased of art that we know about, $875,000 of Hunter's, incredible art career. And so we have questions about this. Obviously, he is a big Democrat donor. He's doing a documentary, if you will, on Hunter Biden. And so, again, I think the brazen arrogance of the both of them showing up this week just speaks volumes. And for the left to kind of perpetuate this nonsense that, oh, he's a victim and please look at, what he was going through. I don't know how the American people really square that up. In fact, they don't, because they look at this as just total hypocrisy and a perpetuation of the two-tiered system of justice, that you can just hide behind your family name and come in and do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, unbelievable. Meanwhile, there's a new report from Politico, and it reveals that the January 6th committee helped Georgia DA Fani Willis during the early days of her Trump investigation. That was in the spring of 2022, when the committee staff apparently helped Fulton County prosecutors prepare for interviews with key witnesses. Texas Congressman Lance Gooden writes this on X, quote, "This is a bombshell report. Adam Kinzinger, Liz Cheney, and the other January 6th committee members should preserve their records. Subpoenas are coming." Congressman, what should we understand about this?
Well, I think, you have a separation of powers issue, right? You have an investigatory committee, the J6 committee, that should not be linking up with a prosecutor to really do their homework. I mean, Fani Willis, obviously, she's had a pretty bad week this week on all the things that are going on. But this committee seems to be pushing the investigation, pushing the prosecution of President Trump, and you don't really see that. There is information that's often shared between investigatory committees and prosecutors. This happens, but it looks like they've been doing the homework for the prosecutors in Georgia.
So where do you see all of this going, Congressman? I mean, look at what we're talking about. You all have this deadline. We may very well have a government shutdown on January 19th, if not then, maybe February 2nd. You can't agree on spending levels. You've got investigations of impeachment, potential impeachment of Mayorkas, potential impeachment of Joe Biden. And the year is just starting. We've got a wide open border, national security issues front and center.
No, it's going to be a big year. It's going to be a very busy couple months. I think, obviously different committees are focused on different things. What we're focused on in oversight and judiciary are these investigations. What is going on? I mean, we have uncovered more in the last year than law enforcement has ever brought to the forefront. I mean, Hunter Biden yesterday pled not guilty, but that was because House Republicans have been pushing this investigation, going, wait, you're going to give this guy a sweetheart deal? So we've got a lot of work to do. The border is an absolute disaster because of the policies of this administration. We've got national debt that just clicked over $34 trillion.
That's right.
So we've got a lot of work to do, but we're going to keep doing our work.
Congressman, real quick on the border, Texas Governor Greg Abbott has ordered the state's National Guard to seize control of a public park in Eagle Pass, Texas. It's been overwhelmed by illegals. Abbott's emergency declaration blocks federal border agents from entering that park, which was being used as a migrant shelter. The House Oversight Committee now holding a hearing next week examining how the administration policies have undermined U.S. immigration law. What do you want to get out of that hearing next week? Real quick.
Well, I think an examination. I mean, obviously they terminated. There's 64 actions that they have taken to defy U.S. law to really encourage illegal immigration into our country. Some of those are, ceasing construction of the border wall, bastardization of the parole and asylum process. They eliminated agreements with Central and South America, terminated the Remain in Mexico policy. So these things all led, and we hear it all the time. So I think that's really key as we look at Mayorkas and his performance, really key to uncovering what is going on.
Just extraordinary. Congressman, thank you. We'll be watching your work. We appreciate your time. Russell Fry is in D.C. this morning. Thank you, sir.